Awesome. Amazing. Powerful. Best of the best. A true healer. He works with some of the most famous A-list celebrities, including movie stars, singers, industry leaders, pro athletes, and numerous royal families, who have all learned the extreme importance of maintaining a very high level of mental and physical performance. We ensure you have the right balance in your life, so you not only maintain your master of the universe status with the world, but also to maintain your superhero status in the eyes of your children and your partner. You have the choice right now to live the life you want to and need to in order to keep what you have and enjoy the time, health, and energy to do what you want now and long into the future. You are among the chosen few who are about to meet the highest rated vital coach and lifestyle consultant on the planet. It's time to naturally enjoy higher levels of natural energy, taking you from good to extraordinary. Reg Lenney, the multi-award-winning executive coach and lifestyle consultant, the best in the business, and the health concierge.
Hi, I'm Reg Lenney, the multi-award winning Vital Coach. I'm super excited to be here with you today and to help you to become the best version of yourself possible. If you're on this webinar, it means that you really value what you do and what it means to other people. You really want to be the best version of yourself. I know you do. You've set some big goals for yourself and you'd like to achieve those goals. In fact, more importantly, you'd like to maintain those goals that you would work so hard to achieve long term, while being able to enjoy high levels of mental and physical performance, health, happiness, and success in all other areas of your life as well. Maybe you'd like to even make it to the C-suite someday if you're not already there. And maybe you're an entrepreneur who wants to have a multiple 7- or 8-figure business. In today's training, I'll be walking through a few simple steps that you can take to improve your performance at work, at home, and everywhere else in your life. One of the main areas I tend to work in a lot is dealing with the crash and burn, or more importantly, how to avoid the crash and burn. We see it all the time. Doesn't matter if it's celebrities or corporate executives that are committing suicide because of the pressure or a fall in the stock market. Celebrities dying from depression, drug overdose, alcohol abuse because of the pressure and the stress all dealing with it. Stay-at-home parents, mums, dads, whoever that have trying to balance that life, work, family thing, or individuals who just go through very difficult times, whether it's a divorce or losing a loved one or all kinds of different issues that come up, whether it be health, mental, emotional, physical. I tend to deal with all those different aspects. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of information about that through this webinar. Everything affects everything, and I think you'll be surprised to know by just how much the small choices you make every day can make a huge impact on your life and how you live it. Those choices can affect everything from your performance at work, which can turn into how much money you earn, or whether you get that new job or promotion that you've been aiming for, or able to land those big contracts or not. That's only in your business life. What about in your personal life? The way that you can be a parent, the way that you can be a friend and a partner. That's all affected by the way you feel and by the choices that you make along with the beliefs that you have. We like to think that our lives are being separate different compartments. We think our work lives are separate from our home lives. We fuel our lives with processed, sugar-filled foods without thinking about how the resulting sugar crash might affect our performance. We don't realize how interconnected everything is. So have you got big plans for yourself? Do you have big goals? Ideas? Wishes? Would you like to see your business grow? Would you like to see your family prosper? Well, if you're not putting yourself first, if you're not allowing yourself to be the best version of yourself possible, what are your chances of avoiding the crash and burn? Or what are your chances of being the best version of yourself possible if you keep doing what you've always done? Everything in your life, from the beliefs to your environment that surround you, to the things you put in and on your body, to the relationships, the hobbies you have, all of it affects how you can perform in all areas of your life. I'm sure you've experienced this from time to time in your own life. Think about a time when you ate really well for 7 days in a row, when you ate plenty of fresh fruits, vegetables, and drank a lot of water. Well, how did you feel? And more importantly, how did that affect how you performed at work and at home? Did you get more done each day? Did you have more energy? Even at the end of the day, did you think more clearly? Then think about a time that you weren't taking care of yourself. Maybe this is your reality every day. This could be a time when you ate a lot of fast food meals, quick and easy, lots of sugar and fillers, pastas and dairy, or maybe when you had a few too many drinks on a work night. How did you feel at work the next day? Did you have to rely on caffeine or sugar to get you through the day? How much work did you actually get done? Was it high quality work, or did you just slog along until the day was over and it was time to get home? How did you treat your other co-workers, or your partner, or your children? Were you a great team player, or were you a grouchy, grumpy, grizzly bear to everyone around you? I realize that you're here because you either are a high performer or you want to be. Either way, you do want to be the best version of yourself possible and live your life to the full. But many of you are falling short of your big goals because you aren't paying attention to the little things that truly affect your big performance. You assume that if you just push harder and harder, you'll get more done and you'll get that big promotion. But that assumption couldn't be further from the truth. To be truly highly successful and happy in all areas of your life, you need to be the best version of yourself possible. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why I wrote my book, Be You, so that I can share with you over 30 years of living, working, traveling, supporting, coaching, guiding, and mentoring some of these amazing individuals that I've had the opportunity to work with around the world. And I want to share that with you and guide and direct you to save time, money, frustrations, failures, bad relationships, bad health, and all these negative ailments and issues that are stopping so many people from achieving very high levels of mental and physical performance, and even more importantly, stopping them from achieving their goals and living the life that they truly want to be living, in the body they want to be living it in. What many people fail to acknowledge or even accept is that great health, happiness, and your corporate success or career success all begins at home. If you don't put your home where you lay your head, where you recharge, restore, rebalance, and are able to be the real you, if you don't put that as a priority and put that as the first and foremost important thing in your life, then you are missing the most important part of your life. Every single choice we make, every single day, every single minute, affects drastically the life that we can and will live. And traveling with, working with, supporting many, many different types of people in many, many different industries has driven me and given me the power and the passion to write the books and the programs that I've written, and to share the passion that I have. Also through sharing some of my experience with corporate offices, with multi-level marketing companies, with large conglomerate groups, global groups. I'm going to be sharing some information about that as well, and how to create that win-win situation between the staff and a business, corporation, and where to find the right balance so that everybody is winning, everybody's producing, and everybody's getting what they want and need. Just the staff love working with a company, or growing and expanding the company, and the company loves having the staff there because they're there for the reason they're hired, to do high quality, professional, efficient work. And there is a very easy way to achieve both of those goals. And when you achieve both of those goals, it's incredible what a company can create. And it's incredible how balanced, harmonious, happy, healthy, and successful of a personal life that you can create at exactly the same time. So it all comes back down to a win-win-win situation for everybody. And before the writing and the courses and the videos and all this stuff that I'm doing now, and before working with all these amazing celebrities and sport athletes and corporate executives, and amazing teams and people around the world working hard to build that balanced and successful life. And before getting on stage and working with amazing people and learning so much more there, and talking in front of 160.8 million people. And before building spas and health centers, retreats, wellness centers, helping hotels and resorts improve their productivity, their staff, and the client results. And of course, before winning all the awards and doing all the things that I've achieved there. There was just simply me, little Reggie, the kid born into a household full of ailment and illness, all kinds of issues and problems. And childhood was not easy for me. Neither was growing up. My father was diagnosed with brain cancer shortly before I was born, so the first 15 years of my life was filled with going to doctors and hospitals and specialists and care centers and health centers all over the world to try to help my father deal with cancer. This is, of course, what brought me right round to the life that I am living now, and learning about health and wellness in our lives and how people work and why we get sick and why some people get sick and are able to get over it and other people get sick and deal with it or live with it their entire lives or actually die from it, as my father did. And that really piqued my interest. So that took me on a journey of through medical school and to India, to Eastern Asia. I became a doctorate of Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Chinese medicine. I've trained in 12 different types of therapies and treatments, studying over 20 different types of hands-on as well as emotional therapies, as well as I got into personal training. That's how I ended up working with all the professional sport athletes. And it's just gone on and on. But ultimately what it's done is help me to become aware and to create these 10 keys to ultimate health, happiness, and success, the ones that I call the 10 vital keys. When you make the choice to put yourself, your health, your home, your happiness, your environment, your nutrition, your fitness, all these different things, when you put them first, when you sort out the right way for you to achieve this fantastic balance in all aspects of your life, well, then business just happens. And it happens in magnificent and wonderful ways, as does all other aspects of your life. Everything becomes better and more enhanced. So what's holding you back? Is it some sort of ailment or issue, disease, something you're dealing with physically, emotionally, mentally? Or are you just plain stuck? You don't really know how to get to where you want to go, how to achieve what you want to achieve, who to talk to, who to trust, who to rely on. If you've been dealing with the same issues for a long period of time, like my client here, Irene, who for over 30 years, the specialist had her on all sorts of drugs and medication and chemotherapy for a low autoimmune issue. And within 3.5 months of working with me, the doctors took her off of all her medication. So from going from 30 years of dealing with it, in 3.5 months of dedication, time, and investment of her passion and power, she was completely medication-free and living an entirely different lifestyle. Of course, not everybody wants or needs the same type of treatments, the same type of help, therapy, guidance, support, whatever. We are all individuals with very unique needs, and that's what makes the work that I do so exciting for me and why I'm so passionate about it, because I teach my clients how to take full control by being aware and learning the tips and tricks and 10 vital keys to being your own specialist with the right guidance, support, education, and information to feel in full control. So what if you had the power of hindsight? What if you knew what it was like to fall from the top, from working really, really hard to achieve very high levels of success, of fame, of fortune, and then to lose it all due to ailment, illness, or bad choices? Do you think putting yourself first and taking time out for your health is a luxury, or something to think about later when you have more time, more money, more whatever, or when situations are perfect? How well do you think all these celebrities and professional sport athletes and top-end corporate executives would manage their hectic life if they put themselves last? Well, we see the results of that often, don't we? Well, the great thing about the world that we live in today is we do have the power of hindsight. Well, not necessarily our own, but we can certainly learn from others. We can see what others have gone through, what they've achieved, and what they've lost from making bad choices and bad decisions and not putting their health, their wellness, and their happiness first and foremost in their life. What if you could have more energy naturally, better health, better mental clarity, better control over your life, the job you want, the promotion you want, and the life that you really want in the body that you want to live it in, and you're able to manage and maintain it long term? What is your brand? What is your brand value? Have you ever asked yourself that? Have you ever wondered how much you're actually worth? Not what your bank account says you're worth, or what you've got in your pocket, or your investments, but what you are worth. If you were the best version of yourself, feeling awesome, with your magnificence glowing, with all of your natural talents and abilities and gifts working at their best, what could you achieve? What could you do? Where do you think you will be next year at this time? How do you think you're going to feel next year if you keep living the way that you've been living up till this point? What is your relationship going to be like? Will you still have one? Where will you be in your career? If you've got a job, will you get laid off? If you're an entrepreneur, will your business still be struggling? Or if you have a successful business, will you be able to maintain it and keep up with the growing, fast-paced change of the world that we're in today? Do you have any niggling aches, pains, chronic issues, ailment, disease that you're dealing with or suffering from right now? How is that going to be by next year this time? What are you going to do to change it, to fix it, or to cure it? What if you've been dealing with the same ailment and issues for a very long period of time, and all the specialists tell you that there's nothing you can do about it? Do you just believe what the specialists say and then deal with or continue to put up with and live with all kinds of ailments and illness for as long as they last or as long as you last? I realize in this day and age it's quite normal to be frustrated with your health and wellness, dealing with chronic issues that just never seem to go away, and dealing with health issues that there doesn't seem to be any cure or help for. But the reality is, things are much simpler than we've been led to believe. You've worked really hard to get to where you are, the top of your field, owning your own business, whatever, all the wonderful things that you've achieved. How do you make sure that you don't lose what you've worked so hard to get? How do you make sure that you're able to maintain very high levels of mental and physical performance so that you can keep up with all the fast-paced world that we're living in, and the changes, and the pressures, and the stress? What about your mental focus? Are you able to maintain that with a clear head, powerful mind, and a great memory? Getting the right business, finding the right partner, having a family, building a home, building your career. It all takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights, but you've achieved it. Now what are you going to do to keep it? How are you going to be able to keep the mental and physical energy that you need to perform at the levels and the clarity that you need in order to keep moving forward? Are you able to perform at your very best on a regular basis? To be the best that you are, to allow your natural gifts and talents to shine with magnificence and power and energy and passion? In the next few minutes, I'd like to share some information that could literally change your life and that could save you a ton of time, confusion, frustration, heartache, and of course, money, and ensure that you are in control of your life, your health, and your future. Well, we're going to start with brand value. And what will having a great brand value do for you? Have you ever asked what your brand value is? Do you even know what your brand value is? Having a powerful and professional brand value will help you to advance your business or career. You'll definitely earn more money in less time. It will help you to spend more time with your family and loved ones, doing the things that you really enjoy doing. And it will increase your energy levels. Natural, green, organic, natural energy, without the needs of coffee, energy boosters, fad pills and potions, or anything else that was going to cost you money and take away from your health. And it will most definitely improve your immune system so that you don't have to pop as many pills and potions. You won't have to go see as many specialists. You won't have to buy as many pharmaceuticals. Hopefully you won't need to buy any at all. Sounds like a pipe dream? Well, my clients are living proof. Enhancing your brand value and taking care of yourself and putting yourself first and educating yourself and not putting your life and your health and your well-being in the hands of others, that you can gain control over your life and your health now and long into the future. Everything is connected. You're going to hear me say this over and over and over because it's fact, and it's an important fact. Everything is connected to everything, and everything affects everything else. Our overall success is affected by every aspect of our lives. Every aspect of our lives is affected by our health and how we feel about ourselves, and how we feel in the body that we're living in. What this means for high performers is that you get connected and you get control and you learn the tips and tricks and strategies and techniques to being the 1%. You take control of your mental and your emotional environment. You take control of your passion and your power, and you become the best version of you possible. And that's what makes you stand out from the crowd. And that's what makes you more valuable. When you can share your magnificent gifts that nobody else has and nobody else can do the way you can, that is worth a lot. Why would someone hire you, give you a promotion, pay you more than the other person, have a relationship with you, or stay in a relationship with you? When your brand value is high and people look at you like a high performer and they treat you like a high performer, you will live like a high performer. Success. What does that mean to you? And what does it look like to you? Success means different things to everybody. Some it's to be an awesome parent, and some it's to achieve great things, some it's to earn a lot of money. What is it that you want? And what is it that you could do? Success comes from your body and your mind. When you don't take care of your body, it affects how your mind functions. What is it really costing you when you don't take care of yourself? What do you think when you see Richard Branson? Him as an individual, his personal life, his health, his activities, and the choices that he makes on a regular basis. Does he come across like a guy you'd like to meet? A guy you'd like to do business with? A guy you'd like to be friends with? A guy who lives outside of his comfort zone and does what it takes to live life to the full and to be successful? Why? What happens if you don't take care of yourself? What's the alternative? You work long, hard hours, you put the time and energy towards getting ahead in business, you put your health, your fitness, your relationships, hobbies, and fun all on the back burner. You try to make a little time for the things, but they just keep getting pushed back. What is the result? Do you have what you want in life? How about your body? Is your career where you want it to be? And your relationships, are they supportive, loving, encouraging, fulfilling? Do you feel great when you go home? How do you judge yourself? How do you judge others? Do you attract the right people into your world? Do you think the way you look, act, and feel affects who wants to spend time with you? Who wants to do business with you? Do you think it's possible that the way you feel and act could affect how much money you earn or could charge in your business? How about how well you climb the corporate ladder? Or even who wants to date you or be your friend? What will happen if you don't get that promotion? Or your job gets made redundant? Or even worse, you get sick or suffer from some sort of breakdown, mental crash and burn. How long will it take for you to lose everything that you've worked so hard for? Everything affects your success. Everything affects everything. So your health, your energy levels, your brand directly affects your success. And your success in all areas of your life is directly affected by how much time and effort you put into your own mental and physical health and well-being. What's the difference between regular people and highly successful people? What do successful people do on a regular basis? What do they do to become highly successful? Highly successful people do exercise their mind and their body on a regular basis. Make note of this because this is very important. They schedule their personal time into their weekly calendar and make time for health, fitness, self-development, fun, and family. They put themselves first, not their business, and not everybody else. They achieve success every single day, and they celebrate that success, big or small. Successful people have no problem, and in fact, they seek and source out help, and they ask positive, result-oriented questions. They all hire and work very closely with a coach and a mentor on a regular basis. They do everything to live their life to the full potential every day. They look for ways to challenge and change themselves for the better and to push outside and beyond their comfort zone. They surround themselves with successful people who have done and are doing what they want to do or to achieve. They surround themselves with people who push them out of their comfort zones and challenge them every day. They understand that they need someone to look at them from the outside, to keep them moving forward towards their goals, and to hold them accountable to what they say they are going to do. They don't always succeed in what they try to accomplish, but they always keep learning, keep changing, keep moving forward and towards their goals consistently. Well, how does this differ from what regular, normal people seem to do? People who are struggling every day to achieve but just never seem to get there. Well, regular people don't ask for help. Regular people feel that it shows a sign of weakness, or that they're wrong, or that there's something wrong with them if they have to ask for help. They surround themselves with people who are the same or lower than them so that they feel good about themselves and that they're not pushed too hard or challenged too much. Regular people always look for the reasons they can't do something or why something won't work. They come up with all kinds of reasons and excuses as to why they are the way that they are and why it won't ever change. They believe they can't afford to take the time and make the effort to improve themselves physically or mentally. They always put these things off and claim they will do it later when they have more time, more money, or when the opportunity arises. They put up with or deal with things the way that they are because, well, that's the way that they are, and that's the way it's always been. They might try something, but quickly give up because it doesn't work and go right back to what they know and where they are most comfortable. They argue their point so as to justify why they are the way they are. Their limiting beliefs, they consistently fight for their beliefs, and they hold on to their beliefs like they can't ever change them. They get advice from their friends and their family and social media to support their negative feelings and the beliefs that they hold on to and make their own. And they surround themselves with people like that and hold on to that. They say, I tried that and it didn't work. If you know all of this already, why are you still doing it? What is your personal brand worth? What happens if you don't change? If you don't start modeling highly successful people? If you don't take the time and make the effort to make the changes that are needed? If you continue doing what you've always done, you stay in your comfort zone, you keep people around you that stroke your ego, what results do you think you'll continue to receive? If you do change, if you have the best job in the world, all the money you need in the bank, what would happen if you lose your health? What is success worth if you lose your family, your friends, your relationships? What if you don't maintain high levels of productivity or performance? How quickly could you lose everything? One of the most powerful opportunities that I've had is to live with, travel, work with, study, mentor, and coach so many of these high performers around the world. And I have learned some incredible things that have saved me so much stress, hassle, life problems, relationship problems, success problems, because I've had the opportunity to watch how these highly successful people work and how they act and how they live and what happens when they don't put themselves first or don't make smart choices. And I have been there and I have seen very dramatic crash and burns and very public failures. So the great thing about the work that I do and what I'm trying to share with everybody now is that we can learn from these mistakes. And this is what I put into my work and the support and guidance that I share with my clients so as to avoid the crash and burn and avoid these mistakes and avoid the sadness and the public humiliation and the loss of family and friends and our own health due to bad choices. So why do high performers fall from the top? Fall from the success that they've worked so hard to gain and achieve? Well, it's a number of things. It's never just one thing, and everything affects everything. What about lack of balance in your life? Do you think that could affect becoming highly successful or not? the inability to maintain your emotions and your physical health. How about that? Could that affect whether you're successful and your brand value is highly rated? What about the inability to ask for, and more importantly, accept help with no ego, with no worry of feeling that you're wrong or you're not good enough because you're making changes or asking for and accepting help? How about a lack of accountability? This comes back to the choice of people we choose to surround ourselves with. It's even harder to work back up the ladder once you've fallen and your brand value has been tarnished. Who has lost their job, their friends, their family, their health, and maybe even their life? And it could have all been avoided with different choices. Why is it that some people settle and actually choose to have bad health? They choose it by the choices that they make, by the relationships that they have, by the hobbies that they have, by the limiting beliefs that they have. I grew up in a household and a family full of ailment, illness, sickness, cancer, disease. Many of my aunts and uncles have died from cancer. All of my grandparents on both sides of the family have died of cancer. Why do you think this happens? And do you believe that if your family has cancer, your parents, your grandparents, that you're going to get it too? Is it in your genes? Are you destined for the same as your parents and your grandparents? Is that a belief you have? Are your beliefs becoming your reality? Or do you have the mental capacity to think outside of that box and to believe that you can do things differently? You do have a choice. When we take responsibility for our thoughts and our actions and our beliefs, then we become empowered. It's much smarter to know how to think rather than to know what to think. I've had the opportunity to work with countless people going through countless and different types of ailments and illnesses, issues and problems. And I see both sides of the spectrum. I see people who are diagnosed with cancer and told they've got a couple of months left to live, and they completely turn it all around and live for many years, very healthy, very strong, and very powerful. However, on the other side, I see other people go through exactly the same thing. In fact, while I'm talking, I'm imagining two brothers that I worked with. They were both diagnosed with the exact same type of cancer 2 months apart. They were both told that they had less than 6 months left to live. Well, that was at least 12 years ago, and one of them is still alive, and the other one died within the 6 months. What was the difference between the two? They were both around the same age. They were about 1.5 years apart. They both had the same doctor. They both had the same specialists. They both went through the same type of treatments, although one of them chose to do something a little bit differently. And while working with me, we made some very significant but very easy to implement tweaks and adjustments to what they were doing and how they were doing it. And that changed everything. Oftentimes, choices seem to be very, very difficult to make. But most of the time, it's not the choice that's the difficult thing. It's dealing with it in your mind and getting over that fear, over that worry, over those blockages and that mental barrier and the limiting beliefs. That's the most difficult part. Once you make the choice, it seems to be so much easier. When I was in the hospital with my father when I was a child, and we went in almost every day. I was in and out of different hospitals, different clinics constantly. And I always wondered, why do people look this way? Why are they this way? Why are people sick in the first place? I know we get told all kinds of different things and we believe all kinds of things, but really, why are people sick? Have you ever been to a hospital or an old folks' home, which is a very sad place to go, and thought the same thing that I was thinking then? Do you think if those people had the chance to go back in time and make different choices as to how they looked after their health, how they lived their life, the choices they made, you think they would make different choices? What choices are you making right now to ensure you don't end up just like those people in the hospital or the old folks' home in those type of conditions? We all have choices. We all have free will. I'm not here to try to talk you into doing something or to make you feel bad about anything, or rather to create the awareness that we are all getting older. We cannot avoid it. One day we are going to be like these people. Or are we? Can we make a different choice? Do you have to be old and frail, or old and sick, or old and in pain, or old with no energy, old and unhappy? Or can you choose to live it in a much different way? It is your choice. Only you can make the choice. Not your partner, not your friends, not anybody else. It's all entirely up to you. In order to achieve a successful life, you must work on all aspects of your life. You can't focus on one area of your life and expect the rest of your life to be awesome just because you're putting effort into one area. Let's use weight loss as an example. I see this all the time. Someone who exercises a lot but doesn't experience any change in their body. Why is that? Have you ever experienced that? You go to the gym, you put in the time, you're doing all what you think everybody else is doing, but you're not getting the same results. Why? Well, maybe you've hired the wrong trainer. I've written a whole section in my book about hiring specialists, spending your money, spending your time, wasting your energy, and putting your life and your future in the hands of other people. Have you done research on these people? Do you really know what type of work and the quality of work and the training and the results that these people get with their clients and other people? These are very important questions to ask, because if you're with the wrong trainers, the wrong coaches, you are going to get some very bad results. There are all sorts of things that can affect your weight loss. How about the foods you're eating? How about the bed you're sleeping on? How about who you're sharing your bed with? What about off-gassing? Have you ever heard of off-gassing? Do you have any idea how it's affecting your environment, your life, your health, your concentration, your family, your moods, and your career? Do you know what fire retardants are? Do you realize that almost everything in your home and in your car has been sprayed with some sort of fire retardant? Do you know that it's medically and scientifically proven that fire retardants are the #1 cause for underactive thyroid? Well, what's the biggest excuse for obesity these days? I hear it every day. I'm overweight because I've got an underactive thyroid, so I'm taking a whole whack of pills and pharmaceuticals to fix it. But do people ever ask why they have an underactive thyroid? What could be causing it? Well, it could be your environment. All of my coaching, mentoring, and training is about creating awareness, understanding, helping you to educate yourself, and sharing the power of choice. Choice against and around and possibly a little bit different than your limiting beliefs. The power of choice is an amazing gift that we all have. The problem is, not many people use it in a common sense and a beneficial way. When I was a child, probably around 11, 12 years old, I met a man named Frank, and he impacted my life in a very powerful way. Some of those pictures that I was showing just a few minutes ago with the elderly people in their 70s, 80s, even 100 years old, that were physically fit and active and healthy and happy and living their life to the full. Well, that was Frank. And when I met him, it shocked me because, as I've said before, I grew up in a household of illness and sickness and death, and that's just what I thought was normal, and I was going to end up going through that myself. But when I met Frank, everything changed. And one of the very powerful things that he said to me was, when I was young, I made a choice. And I believe we all have choices. We can either choose to be healthy, fit, happy, and successful, and make choices every single day to work towards that consistently, regularly, or we can choose to just go along with everybody else, do what everybody else is doing, focus on what's in front of us and what we have to do and get done, and ignore the rest. Either way, we're going to grow old. Either way, we're going to go through life difficulties and problems and issues. The difference is, we can do it feeling great, or we can try to deal with things while we feel lousy. So where are your choices taking you? Success, true success, fulfilling, long-term, successful success comes from being aware of both the body and the mind, and fulfilling the needs that your body and mind have. If you ignore them, it's only going to cause problems. If you don't take care of your body, it absolutely affects your mind. If you don't take care of your mind, it absolutely affects your body. I teach my clients how to find a balance and success through both mind and body. Research from the Carnegie Institute of Technology proves that 85% of financial success is due to human engineering, personality, ability to negotiate and to lead. Only 15% is due to technical knowledge. Forbes magazine says that you should be sure to also invest in emotional intelligence, moral intelligence, and body intelligence. This is what I've been working on with all of my clients, and they continually express amazement with the change and success of their business life, their financial gain, their relationships, and all other areas of their life when they put their health and well-being first. A few tips to help you enhance your performance by taking care of your body and mind are, if you've got a pen and a piece of paper, be aware of how your choices affect everything. You really need to be aware of how sugar and processed, prepackaged, pre-made, easy to access foods is affecting you. I know we hear about it, I know you know it, but really, there's so many people that I talk to about health and wellness, and they say that they're living healthy and making healthy choices and eating healthy. Yet when I tell them to cut out sugar, they almost go into panic mode. Well, the reality is, sugar is the number one bad food. And it's in all the processed foods. It's in most of the GMO foods. It's in most of the health foods. It's in almost everything. If you're not being aware and making smart choices of what you put on your body, in your body, and around your body, in your environment, then you are missing the most important aspect of how your body and mind is affected by everything. So cut out the sugar. Before you put anything in your mouth, read the label. If it has processed sugars or anything non-natural, anything man-made with some kind of fun and funky name added to it, don't put it in your mouth, or at least research it to find out what it is before you eat it. What about caffeine? Well, we've talked about caffeine and its detrimental effects. If we continue to rely on these energy boosters and caffeine fixes, we are in for a long-term problem while enjoying the short-term gains. Eating a lot of crap, drinking a lot of crap, not only gives you brain fog, but it absolutely affects your productivity and your efficiency, which in turn directly affects your brand value and how other people see you. What about getting enough sleep? Many high performers don't realize how important sleep is. In fact, I get many people bragging to me that they can go for, hours and hours without sleeping. They only need 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a night worth of sleep. Well, when you get adequate sleep, you perform better, you get more done, You're in a better mood, so your relationships improve. Your health, your fitness, your body improves, because sleeping allows your body to clear toxins and poisons, to repair ailment and injuries, to eliminate stuff that doesn't belong there, to recharge, rebuild, restore your body. If you're not sleeping those vital hours, you are absolutely fooling yourself, and you are absolutely most definitely in for a crash and burn. I can immediately tell if a person is getting enough sleep and enough good quality sleep or not, by the way they look, by the way their body looks, and by their facial expressions, by the way they act, by their personality type. Sleep affects everything. Don't underestimate it. So make note of this. When you're sleeping, make sure your room is dark. Close the curtains, close the window, close the blinds, to make sure that it's dark. You've got no lights, no computers, no cell phones, no electronics, no Wi-Fi in your room. I promise you, you do this, you're going to sleep way better. Get the cell phone out of the room. You don't need to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and check it. That's an addiction. You are addicted to your telephone if you're sleeping with it and checking it regularly. If you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone, you're addicted. And it's not helping you. It's not beneficial for you. So get your sleep. Put all the electronics and the toys and the stuff away. Get rid of the lights. Get lots of fresh air. Make sure that you're breathing chemical-free, toxic-free air, so that when you rebuild and restore your body, it's doing it in a natural, healthy way, rather than your body trying to heal itself while you're sleeping, while at the same time sucking in all these poisons and gases and toxins from off-gassing and the products that you choose to use in your home. Use pure medical-grade essential oils. They're fairly reasonably priced. They're easy to access. You can get them on the internet. And they will clean and detox your air, revitalize your air, and help to revitalize and recharge your body. Get lots of big green leafy plants in your home, in your office, in your bedroom. And keep the window open a little bit so you get some recycling fresh air. The small things that you do and the choices you make absolutely the biggest impact. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions. What do you think that you could accomplish if you weren't being held back by your own habits, your own beliefs, your own health, without getting in your own way due to confusion, frustration, fears? Okay, here's another question. How much further could you go with your career if everything else in your life was in place? You had an awesome relationship with your family and your partner. You felt really good and powerful. You were fulfilled. You had time for you in your spare time to do the things that you love to do, to empower yourself, to educate yourself, to learn, to hone your craft. If you had the time, the energy, the passion, and the enjoyment, and were living a fulfilled life, what could you achieve? Well, I'll let you think about that. My name is Reg Lenney. I hope you enjoyed this video, and when you're ready to learn what you can achieve and who you could be when you're living the best version of yourself possible, I'm here to help. Feel free to share this video if you think it could be helpful for someone else, and connect with me. I'd love to hear more about you and to help you achieve your goals. Thanks for your time. I look forward to seeing you soon.